Misha, let me show you. There is an interesting problem here. It would seem that everything is great with the model, everything is excellent. However, even though right now it is not visible, in some time noticeable problems may occur. And now is the right time to start working with this. This is excessive swelling in the subcutaneous tissue. It is evenly distributed almost all over her body. We can feel it as anywhere we pinch. We have a density that is greater than it should be. Our body should be soft and easy to pinch, and our model has excessive volume almost everywhere. Moreover, this volume is evenly distributed throughout the body, which means that it's a structural problem and it is necessary to work with the lymphatic system, and now we will show how this can be done. Well, here the tension along the iliotibial tract, along the lateral surface, is quite distinct. We are planning to shoot a video with the same model about the iliotibial tract. It is overstrained. And here we already see the first small traces of it. Here is the capillary. Look, we squeeze it and now it's gone. It means that it is young yet and empty as well. However, the tension along the tract has already begun to deform the vascular system. The same problem is with the outer shin down here. It can't be seen on the perineal muscles, but professionals recognize these and can clearly feel seals that after a while will lead to the formation of constrictions here and legs will become heavy. So you can work with this through physical exertion, but until the root cause of this has been eliminated, you will have to constantly pay attention to it. There is a lot of tension here, and the front surface of the thigh is very tense as well. This creates a feeling of greater fatigue, more tension, and this tension is often perceived as emotional tension, although, in fact, that's the tension accumulated in the fascia and the tension which is not necessarily connected to one's life conditions. It is just that the body, for some internal reasons, is forced to create such tension, and as a consequence, we interpret it as the heaviness of being. Here, even here, the muscle jumps. It means there is a deep spasm in quadriceps. The heads, quadriceps femoris heads, are fusing, therefore there is soreness here. Fused heads significantly reduce the efficiency of the entire movement of the leg. I'm relaxing deep muscles so that the fluid flows more freely, more naturally. Now I will work with the inner surface. I am moving the fluid up. What would I do next? Lie down on your side facing the audience. This is a very interesting movement, a very interesting technique which allows you to work on the condition of the posterior tibial muscle and separate the gastrocnemius muscle from the posterior tibial muscle to work on the long flexors of the fingers and helps to improve lymph circulation. In addition to this, it stimulates a huge number of biologically active points along the inner surface. We have kidney meridians, pancreas, spleen, and liver meridians. All these are meridians corresponding to internal organs that determine the state of human health. Working on the inner surface the way I show will affect your patients extremely beneficial. Avoid this work with pregnant women. It is potentially dangerous. Deformation processes have already begun here. Here there is an excess volume of fluid. I don't know if the camera can catch this, but it is distinctly painful here, right? It is clearly painful here. It is such a dense, tight tissue that it is difficult to grab. Normally, these parts should be easy and natural to grab, and it should be painless. If you think about it, in the past, these parts constantly collided, touched the grass, got bitten by insects, and accordingly, the fact that there is pain here is absolutely unnatural. The body must be ready for aggressive effects on the calves and ankles. If it's difficult for the body, then there is a clear sign of health problems. We are working on the attachment point of the posterior tibial and on the attachment point of the anterior tibial. We are working on the parts where the long flexor tendon of the thumb is. This is a small structure, one of the most important structures in our body. Stay tuned for updates. Be sure to subscribe to the channel not to miss this video. Mikhail, look here again. We have a vascular pattern on the inner surface of the knee. Right now, this pattern is faintly visible, and unfortunately, if your vascular system begins to change and you do nothing about it, then these changes will continue aggravating. In this case, changes are caused by excessive swelling, which leads to the fact that the blood cannot circulate freely through the capillaries. The capillaries are simply squeezed by the intercellular fluid, which fills tissues around these capillaries, and the blood cannot freely pass through these capillaries. Then capillaries get stretched, and it leads to them becoming visible, deformed in any state, and it's extremely difficult to rewind this process. Be very careful with the area of the inner surface. Be sure to combine work with the lymphatic system with this. It is important to understand that before doing this work, it is necessary, especially in cases with patients who have serious problems with swelling, it is extremely necessary to release the lymphatic system above the lymph nodes. Let's see. We have the main connection of the lymphatic system with the circulatory system is in the area under the collarbones. Then there are lymph nodes that are located on the diaphragm behind the sternum. There are abdominal lymph nodes and inguinal lymph nodes. So when we work with legs, it is necessary to firstly relieve the upper lymph nodes, then the middle, abdominal, and only after we have done this, our work will be truly effective and safe. I want to point out again that the issue of fluid retention to a very significant extent is tied to the circulation of lymph in the lymphatic system, and in order for the results to last long and your work to be safe, it is necessary to take into account the physiology of the movement of lymph through the lymphatic system. This work is quite energetic and can be painful for the patient, but now the pain is almost gone, right? In order to stabilize the hip, it is extremely important for us to develop the gluteus maximus and medius. Again, at first it can be painful, but rather quickly the body realizes that something good is being done to it and stops the pain. Here again, on the iliac crest, there are places of attachment of the oblique abdominal muscles. Attentive viewers will be able to notice the difference between the left and right legs. It is not very clear, we worked for only 10 minutes. But even after this time, you can see the changes. If you see them, please like this video and write about it in the comments. Let's take a look. Well, there is still swelling in the thigh, along the inner thigh and also a little in the knee. It is not quite visible, but nevertheless the knee also got smaller. And by the way, you can look at the lower leg. If you take a look at the lower leg, here it is a lot bigger. I would like to stress once again that the external is a continuation of the internal. In this case, internal is a state of internal organs and a state of the musculoskeletal system. I am Stanislav Chernog, the author and creator of the online School of Vector Massage and Somatics and the YouTube channel of the same name, the channel where we teach you how to do massage, get healthier and make good money on it. Until next time, friends, goodbye.